Your brothers? No.
Yes!
Beginning to get on my nerves. Who are those guys?
I couldn't do that. Could you do that? How can they do that?
Who are those guys?
They fucking think us brothers!
What is up, everybody? This is Phil from Zaid Comics. We are back doing some promos. You know, a lot of a new year, a lot of books are launching. January was just filled with crazy amount of launches, and it's month 2, and we're already back to a bunch more launches. I know probably like 4 books that are launching this week. This one, which we'll be talking about today, launched last week, and it's killing it. And yeah, so you'll see a lot more of me streaming solo with another awesome creator. And this week, just to start out, we got our buddy Graham Nolan on. What's up, Graham?
Hello, Phil. Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Like I said, there's so much stuff going on in 2022. And look what I got. I think I got this like days before you launched. I got my Compass comic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Still wrapped up. I got the Chenu. I love the spotting on this, man. It's so cool, the spot with the
the spot varnish. Yeah, the spot UV.
And Alien Alamo. And I mean, you're doing it right. You just shipped these out. And while your books and stories are fresh in people's mind, already going into the next book, which is amazing. So good. Planning ahead there.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat here already. We got Admiral Wackass, Odd Jobs, what's up? Dr. Mask, Shadowhawk, of course. What's up, Skinny? I tweeted this out, guys. So if you guys are on Twitter, definitely retweet this, spread the news around that we're streaming right now. We'll be hanging out for a little bit, probably like a half hour. Noah's in the chat here, who has a book out as well. Everybody check out Mavericks on Indiegogo. But we're here today to talk about your new book, Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Amazing title. So good. A great throwback. And just as you can see right there, I'll actually pull up the cover here. I love the cover dressing on this thing. It's such a throwback. You don't see anymore kind of the big blocky letters on the cover that not including the title, you know, where you have an action adventure ask so cool. And kind of like that corner box thing. So where did this you've done the Chenu, you've done Monster Island, right, and Alien Alamo. Where did this idea come from, and how did it get formed together?
Well, as you know, my other books are all part of what I call the Nolan verse, which is an all interconnected universe that revolves around monsters, sci-fi, supernatural, horror, that kind of stuff. The idea for this book was really just came as a lark. I was out back. It was in the summer, I think July, having a cigar, and my pup was with me, and just chilling, and I was scrolling through Facebook or something, and something, was like the last straw that triggered me. It was some kind of bullshit, that was like, crapping on men and masculinity and stuff. And I said, I said to myself, I got to do something with this. I got to do maybe a anthology comic, and the first thing that came to me was the title.
Yeah.
Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. I mean, that just came right up. And once I got that in my head, I got on my phone and I called Chuck Dixon and I said, Chuck, this is what I'm thinking of. And he goes, I'm in. And then I called Bo Smith and he says, I'm in. And then I called Mike Barron and Kevin Grievous, and they were both like, oh yeah, we got to do this, So then I knew I didn't want to do the whole thing myself, because I still have my next book in the Nolan verse, The Ghosts of Matacumba Key, which I have to focus on. So I decided, well, this is a good opportunity for me as a publisher to get into publishing other people's work. And exposing the audience to their work, and through crowdfunding and stuff, because some of these guys might want to do their own crowdfunding, and now their names are getting out there amongst supporters of crowdfunding. And the other thing is I wanted to make sure that all my guys own their material. So when they do the stuff for my company, Compass Comics, the copyrights and everything all are owned by the writers and artists. All I have is the right to publish this story. I think that's how it should be,
Yeah, that's awesome. So this is some of the biggest badasses in comics, the most manly guys. I mean, the stuff that these creators would come out with in the past, Chuck and you doing Batman stuff, Mike, Punisher. It's all going to be all those creators coming together for this. And this is basically like an anthology, right?
It is. They're all 10-page stories. And there's 10 of them. So, each writer is going to write 2 stories. And then we're going to have revolving artists do various, we'll have more than 5 artists, doing various stories. I told them there's no genre that's off limits. You go in whatever direction you want. The only edict that I have for you is that it has to be about a man, either overcoming odds, protecting somebody, stepping up and doing the right thing. As long as that's in there and there's ass kicking in it, then we're good to go. Yeah, I love this. That's the bookmark.
Oh, that's awesome.
Little blood,
That's so good.
Old timey fighters,
Yeah, those pugilists, man.
Yeah, and I love that the man card too. We've I think, have we hit that?
The official man card unlocks at 75K. Is that right?
75K. All right, so we're at 61 now.
So the man card's 50K.
Oh, 50. All right, everybody's got the man card already.
Yes.
So that's going out. So now when somebody says to you, you got to turn in your man card, you just reach in your wallet and you'll have it.
That's awesome. All right, let's see who else is in the chat here. We have our buddy Kenneth Rocafort in the chat.
Hey, Kenneth.
Thanks for tuning in and watching. Appreciate it.
Kenneth is an outstanding artist.
Admiral Wacka says, awesome idea, well needed, backer 433. Thank you so much. Admiral
Thanks,
Wacka.
Buddy. Thank you for backing this book.
Hell yeah. And so this is really cool because you don't see a lot of, you see a lot of anthologies up on crowdfunding. You don't see a lot of successful anthologies, right?
I've heard that.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, on Kickstarter, you'll see books that have a bunch of stories by like 20 different creators, and it's hard to wrangle. As I've experienced, hard to wrangle artists to get stuff done as a publisher. But also, if you're doing that and you only raise like $8,000, like how you divvying all of that up to people and getting them good rates for stuff, but.
Exactly. What I did was when I talked to everybody ahead of time, I told them, here's what I'll pay. I'm going to pay you the same rates that I got paid for doing stuff for Aftershock. So I use that as a template. Larger independent company.
Yeah.
I took their rate plan. I said, here's what I'm going to pay you up front to get this thing going. And if it does well and it funds well, then there'll be bonuses for everybody to raise those rates up to nice rates for them.
Yeah.
They're all A-list guys, and I want to pay them what they're worth because I want to do this again. If this is successful, since any genre is available, I could do this as an annual every year, do another giant size two-fisted manly tales and have more and different stories and stuff, and I think it'd be a lot of fun.
That's a great idea because as a publisher and you yourself as an artist, writer, and creator, you have, the plans of putting your Nolan verse stuff out. So this really is awesome to kind of have an interlude campaign while you're working on another project to stay up to date on your stuff. And that's kind of what we're doing too with, having our 2 IPs being Magic Cop, which my brother works on. He does all the art for. And then the Lost Pages, which is like this, where I'm commissioning artists to draw these stories that I've written. So I think creators that are looking to publish stuff and kind of get their books out on time, that's a really good option to have something where it's that interlude project, you know, where you're hiring out artists to do stuff. I think that's
Yeah, I want to have a Compass Comics comic out at all times, you know, funding
Yeah.
at various stages, so that you know, it builds brand recognition. It also, you know, one of the things with crowdfunding you have to be able to do is build trust, because you're asking people to trust you to deliver, and there's so many guys that have not. I've done a great job as far as that goes on my first two projects, delivering on time and quality products that people seem to enjoy. So I want to keep that going, even working with, you know, having other people do it and just working strictly as a publisher and editor. I am a writer on this. I did write the story that Michael Golden is illustrating.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Who, by the way, did the cover. That's a Michael Golden cover.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Here, this bad boy. Look at that. Really cool. So
Yeah.
you're working with kind of like the anthology theme going on through here with shorter stories, and you said 10-page stories. I'm glad you have these writers and artists that are kind of veterans in comic creation, because I think, in my opinion, writing shorter stories is sometimes more difficult than writing a longer story. You need to know that pacing. And in fact, my advice for people that want to be comic writers is to actually start with short stories, practice on those, because once you get those down, you know, a 24-page story is just a bunch of, you know, 6 or 4-page stories buttered up together for those pacings, those page turns. How has that been working with these guys on the shorter stories, and yourself writing a shorter story compared to something that's like the Chenille?
I love the short story format because there's no fat. You get in, get out. And every one of these guys, you know, are very adept at doing your setup, setting up your character, setting up your environment, and giving you the motion of the plot to get it going. And then, bam, you know, you get right into it. And you know, you look at Eisner. Eisner did it in 8 pages. You know, he had stories that touched your heart, that excited you, that scared you, and he did that all in 8 pages. So to do it, you know, you look at a guy like that and you say, okay, well, this is how it's done. That's a great template to look at.
Oh, for sure. This art right here is just amazing. What's this story about?
This is Roberto Castro on the art. The story is by Kevin Grievous. And if you don't know Kevin is the creator of the Underworld movie series.
Oh, wow.
And he also writes my favorite comic of the last couple of years, Bass Reeves, that Allegiant Press does. So anyway, Kevin is using one of his Underworld characters. I think his name is Lycan, as the main character in the story.
That's,
like I said, there's no off limits genre. So he said,
"That's so fun, man! And
can I do that?" And I said, "Yeah, sure."
Just the opportunity that you're creating here. You know, this is obviously already kicking ass on Indiegogo, and you're just a week out. And then the potential for stuff going forward with, you know, sequels to a book like this, and the opportunities for creators to come on here. That's just so exciting and fun. It's awesome to see you doing this, man, as a publisher, kind of stepping out for the first time, doing that. So congratulations.
Thank you. You know, I want to, you know, I've been doing this for 37 years, I think 37, 38, something like that. And I've worked with all kinds of publishers and publishing models. And I didn't want to replicate them. I wanted the kind of publisher that I wanted to work for. I wanted to be the kind of publisher that I wanted to work for. And, you know, and give the rights to the creators. They're the ones that do the heavy lifting. You know, I'm just a publisher, and all I ask is the rights to publish it and showcase it. But if they want to take these characters and do a graphic novel of them, you know, if they take off or they feel like they've got more stories and more potential, then hey, it's yours. You go do it. You know.
That's awesome. We got Kenneth in the chat said just back now, backer 693. Awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, Kenneth. Really appreciate it. Yeah, this panel here is a Butch Geist panel.
Yeah, look at that.
In between, he's working on 2 projects at one time. So this is all I have from him just now, but he'll be feeding me pages shortly. I also have Larry Stroman is doing a story with Chuck Dixon, a real down and dirty sci-fi story about these miners, and it's a horror sci-fi, I should say, and it's real creepy.
So the cool thing here is kind of like in my book, The Lost Pages, where you have these stories that cross genres, right? So you're saying you got, as we saw, kind of like that Arctic story. Well, here you have the kind of supernatural story here with the underworld characters, and then, like you said, the Chuck sci-fi story. These are going to span, and so that's the best thing and kind of like the real talking point, in my opinion, on anthologies like this is, if you're a fan of something, you're going to find something in there. If you're running an anthology correctly in that the way that you should, is there should be something for everyone in here. And along the way, the other stuff is looking kick-ass. So hopefully they're going to fall in love with the other stories as well.
If you scroll up, there's little blurbs about the first 5 stories.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here.
Keep going. Team Testosterone. There you go.
All right. So we got Chuck Dixon, David Williams, Volsung, and this is the Arctic one, the Iceland.
No, that one is the one that the artwork for with the airplane is Bo Smith, Tim Rozon, and Andrew
so this is kind of like Iceland was a hard land settled by hard men, where even murder was forgiven if the proper price was paid in gold or goods. But murder done without compensation must be paid for in blood. When men come seeking Einar, son to Hakon, he swears an oath to see them all in hell. So this is kind of like a Viking story. Am I getting that correct?
Yeah.
Like a Norse.
Yep. It's a Viking story. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, so there's so many. It's very eclectic, this book, which is all high testosterone, super manly. I can't wait for it. This is going to be awesome. Let's see.
Exactly.
Here. We got 21 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow we'll be doing another promo on here with Edwin Acevedo about his upcoming Ace book, and then the next few weeks I'm going to be doing a lot of this streaming. Fresher Luke has a question for Graham. Do you think that testosterone levels across the board are on the decline? If so, do you think that this book will help set us back on a better path?
Well, Fresher Luke, in this soy-based world, what it needs is a giant-sized two-fisted manly tails to increase those T levels and bring these soy-based boys up to men.
Oh yeah,
how's that?
It's perfect, man. Clip that. Put it on Twitter.
Yeah, clip that.
So this is a big book. I mean, you have to, this was, like you said, started off with the title, giant size. That sets the standard of what this book is going to include. And it's, 100 pages of story here, which we're getting, it's a big, commitment and task to pull off, but it seems like you guys have the team to do it. And you're kicking ass here, and it's, as you can see, you're getting the response from people backing right now.
Whenever you launch, and you know this as well as anybody, Phil. Whenever you launch, you're always a little bit nervous.
Sure.
You're hoping that the product that you're bringing forward is accepted and liked and does well. This one, I never had a doubt. I knew in my head that people wanted these kind of stories. When I launched Alien Alamo, I was nervous because it takes place in the 1950s. There's a Western motif to it, sci-fi. I don't know how that's going to do versus like the straight horror of the Chenoo. And Alien Alamo beat the Chenoo by about $40,000.
Yeah.
But this one, I had no doubts in my mind when this thing when I came up with the idea that this would do well. I just really felt like I was on onto something, that I was on the pulse of something that readers don't get. It's not being provided to them by other publishers, and so I felt like I was scratching an itch and filling a niche.
Sure. So this book, is it going to be the same dimensions as your previous book's going to be perfect bound and like a trade basically, or are you doing something different?
Right now, yes, but at the 150,000 stretch goal is to make it a hardcover.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So then
That'll
now
be
you've got this 100-page hardcover book with a beautiful thick spine on your shelf and everything. So I'm hoping that we'll get to that, because I really want this to be a hardcover.
Yeah, that guys, so we can get there, and you can use this to ward off intruders.
That's
from the
right.
house.
It's a weapon too. If it's a hardcover, it'd make a great weapon.
That's right. That's right.
And speaking of weapons,
yeah, look at this. So this is
Yeah.
another thing I love about this book. The logo that you have with the knuckle duster as the D. I'm like, oh, that's iconic, man. That's badass. The blood stains behind it. Yeah, that's so cool. So let's see.
Here's my prototype.
What? That's so good. So are these? Could people get these?
Oh yeah, it's the first. There you go. Giant-sized, two-fisted manly tails, man of the year. That can be you.
That's so cool. Oh, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah, it's the first tier. It's the preferred tier or whatever. What's it called? Featured tier. Yeah. And just so you know, because some people were a little nervous that some states don't allow brass knuckles. They're not brass. This is a trophy. It's screwed in. This is like a hard plastic that looks like metal.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
So, I mean, the U.S. Post Office ships these all over the country, so there should be no problem.
That's great, and that's what I love about your campaigns is you try to think outside of the box and get these exclusive things for backers that it's not just a book. You want to make them feel like they're along for the ride and they're really investing in this project to make it happen. And I think that's some of the most fun with crowdfunding and CG is coming up with ideas like that. Like we did the cups for Magic Cop, the Magic Cups, and this is just another thing that people are going to be sought after. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
so
like
cool.
For Alien Alamo, I had the 3030 keychain.
That's right. That's badass.
Which is what the main character fired, was a 3030 Winchester. So
Sick.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of fun stuff like that, not just, crappy tchotchkes, but, kind of cool stuff, that will tie in with the flavor of the book and stuff so that it, has some intrinsic value.
Yeah, and all manly stuff.
And
that's
a
my
must.
buddy Passion for here says it's Graham Swollen.
Graham Swollen. That's going to be my new name.
Yeah. The Passion is he's the creator that's doing that other awesome anthology that fantasy magazine launching tomorrow. So everybody go watch Bancroft's tomorrow when he launches. I have a story in there that's going to be awesome. But I wanted to read about this Kevin Grimace story. So it's called I Lichen. Great name. It's a horrifying tale where a werewolf private detective, keeps things in check as he takes on supernatural cases in the city where monsters dwell in secret. Now that sounds awesome.
Right?
You have that supernatural aspect. I love that stuff. The horror, that's gonna be so cool. There's so much to look forward to in this 100-page book.
Oh yeah.
Let's pull up the trailer here.
Yeah, this isn't the official trailer yet. This was just a placement trailer for the launch, but
cool.
My guy Nick Grosh is working on the official trailer.
All right, let me get
this is just a little 30-second, if that.
Look at all those names, man. Team Testosterone. I love that. Whoever came up with that.
Yeah, that was me. You know, I just I try to think of all these things that I can tie in. I've been doing promos every single day, and I take
I love them.
a tough actor, and then I Photoshop him holding the book.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
pull them up. It's so good.
yeah. Yeah, I stole that from Chuck Dixon did the first one with um, Charles Bronson, and I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So I've been doing these.
Yeah, they're so good. You had some James Bond.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a Smith and Wesson, and you've had your 6. Now go back the book.
Look at this.
Top of the world, Ma.
Yeah, everybody follow Graham and go sub to his channel too. He does YouTube streams all the time, right?
Yeah. I do a Wednesday show called The Storytellers, where I interview comic legends about their their approaches, their inspirations, how they got in the business, where they think the business is going, that kind of stuff. It's sort of an educational show about comics.
Yeah. And we have here, you guys could sub right there. Mortal V's dropping the link. Thank you so much, Mortal V.
Thank you.
And
I'd always use more subscribers.
That's right. That's right. I can never get enough werewolves. Never. Yeah, that character that he was fighting here looks like kind of like a chimera or like a gargoyle.
It is a gargoyle.
Yeah,
the color has to be changed on that, but it wasn't done in time to put it up. But yeah, that's a gargoyle he's fighting.
That's gonna be awesome. Lots of action. This is so exciting, man. And you're doing it right. I think people that are planning on crowdfunding and kind of like planning for their future campaigns, you did it. You shipped your previous books and went right into your new campaign. So you're still on the minds of the readers, and they'll hop on board. That's like you said, you want to stay available with new content throughout the year, back to back, so you can get your backers and your readers something new all the time.
Exactly. And the caveat there is, don't start a campaign if you haven't started shipping your other one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that's bad form. I think you really got to start honoring the first one and get those things going. Start getting them out before you start launching another one.
And we've seen that happen, unfortunately, a couple times in the past here in CG, and it just doesn't go well. People remember that, and you got to stay true to your commitments. Get those things done.
Exactly.
For sure. Let's see, any questions here? Everybody's agreeing. Graham has one of my favorite channels, very educational.
Oh, thank you, Leg Kick One.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. I see a lot of folks in here that tune into the show. Eric the Guapo.
Yeah, like the chat is great, and it's always great to go in other chats and see people you recognize.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a big family. You get to see that group. And when I go to live conventions, I've had people come up to me and they introduce themselves by their avatar name.
Yeah.
And then they tell me their real name. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to do that. Go to conventions and stuff. And hopefully we'll be, maybe this year or next year, we could all meet up at a convention or do that CG Con. That would be so great.
Oh yeah, the Fan Fest thing in Orlando.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Metal Movies and Brewskis says, we need these stories, man. Every form of multimedia is soaked nowadays. A real palate cleanser is what's going to be. There you go. You got the response. Let's see. Let's go back up to the top. See if we had we have 646 backers. That's amazing. Do a little refresh on that. Let's see how 47. We have another backer here, and inching your way closer to 62,000. Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that would be Kenneth was that backer. He said he backed it.
That's right. Yeah, and if you guys dig this project and you want to back it at a later time, a perfect thing to do is if you're signed in on Indiegogo, you hit this follow button where the heart is. You click on that. The heart will turn red, and that means anytime Graham does an update, you'll get the update sent to your email. It'll be like a little reminder that you want to go and back this thing, on payday or whenever. I'm definitely gonna pick up this brass knuckle thing so I could put it up above above my desk here. That's awesome.
And Phil, if down the road anybody ever questions your masculinity, you will have a trophy and a
Yeah,
man card to back it all up.
perfect.
So I'm just
Perfect.
saying, you know.
Yeah, I could show it to my girlfriend all the time. Be like, hey, stay in line, woman. There you go.
There's another man card you can show her.
Let's see. Stat this is 0 in the chat. What's up, Stat? I just
Hey,
need
Stat.
an official Sunshine State collection besides the POD one. Then Compass Comics shall be complete.
I go back and forth on that. Remember how I said when I launched Giant Size Two-Fisted Man-At-Tails, I knew this was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about Sunshine State. I just don't know if the audience is there for that you know, lighthearted, humorous newspaper style strip.
And that's the stuff you do as the strips, right?
Yes. Yeah, I do that weekly on Go Comics.
Very cool. Yeah. And I mean, I usually I start with like an introduction of creators and stuff, but I mean, you don't need an introduction, Graham. You've been doing this stuff and for years. Everybody knows you. You're kicking ass in crowdfunding now. It's awesome to have you here doing this and be able to shoot the shit with you and see you on streams with everybody. It's great. And I've seen, you know, a lot of people. You talked about this on Bancrofts, where people were on Twitter being like, "Why do you think Aaron Lepresti and Graham, you know, they hide the fact that they're CG?" It's like you don't. You're literally on Ethan's every week and hanging out with
Comicsgate Kings.
the professionals and everything. And no, you set everybody straight. So on Twitter, so that was awesome.
Yeah. I said because they said but he you know, he may say it, you know, under the table or something, but he never puts it in print.
Yeah,
that's when I put I'm proudly Comicsgate. There, now it's in print.
That's right. Go, brother. Got Kima in the chat. Eric the Guapo says, I'm only interested in meeting CG creators these days. The mainstream guys are always looking for a way to get social points at the expense of the fans, and I just don't want to deal with it. Sure, it seems like a lot of people are like that. There's some creators, there's always going to be a handful that are still badass and making awesome comics over there and just are good guys. Like Doug Mankey's always been awesome to me. He's huge.
Doug's a great guy.
Awesome. You know, he's helped us out with this campaign. I don't know if you guys saw, but he did, of course, the trailer for our book, but he also did a bookmark too, which is from the trailer that he sent over to me recently. So if you guys
saw that was awesome.
Yeah, he killed it on that. So he's awesome, and his books are great. His Swamp Thing he's doing right now is amazing. It's probably the best thing coming out of the mainstream right now. But yeah, it's I'm excited to meet all the backers one day as well.
Yeah.
We got Jimmy Reyes in the chat. What's up? HR Show. Hi, Graham and Zaid. Booking over for Mike's and Chester's channel on the Discords. Who boy? And Two-Fisted Manly Tales. America hasn't experienced much literary testosterone since Hemingway. That's right. That's awesome.
And I promise not to shoot myself.
Yeah, please don't do that. We got Genuine Comics in the chat. Well, we're going to wrap up in a second here. Everybody check this out, and thank you guys for tuning in. Share this around too. You know, this is, I think, a super important book right now. You know, you got to get back to the high T comics of not only action, but just the intestinal fortitude of these characters. Bump it up a notch. Characters that mean something, that have character and conviction in these stories. Something that young people could look to, young men could look to aspire to be. And
and it's not just, Neanderthal, ass kicking type stuff. It's guys that are forced to do things, and sometimes at great personal sacrifice, but you have to do that as a man. Sometimes you have to step up for what's right, whether it's defense of a loved one, your wife, your daughter, an ideology, your country, all these different things. The story I'm doing with Michael Golden's called Crossing the Rubicon. If you know your Roman history, where that phrase comes from, it's Caesar crossing the Rubicon River. And it means today there's no turning back. And so that has a lot of meaning in the story, as this character, is a trucker, and who you think he's just a trucker. He's a knucklehead or something.
Yeah.
And then he explains to these bikers as he's kicking their ass what crossing the Rubicon means.
That's going to be awesome.
It's really neat.
And just to see, this is just the tip of the iceberg, what we're seeing on the campaign. You got 10 stories from amazing creators and all over, crossing different genres with that just high tea theme. And get on it, guys. But before we cut out here,
Much appreciated.
A little update here on my own book, because we are almost ready for print. We have one more page to go. My boy Dan Dahl is working on the last page, inking it, and we're going to be getting this over to the printer, guys. We have, so close to 30K. And once we do hit 30K, the cover is going to have gold foil on it, as you can see here with Eldorado's golden jaw and his tattoo.
Oh, man.
It's going to be gold foil, shiny, premium stuff for you guys. This is the first time we're doing it. And hopefully, if you guys have not backed this book yet, you could help us out upgrading it. Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be insane to see. So by the end of this week, probably everything will be done, ready for pre-press going into it. And if we go over to the updates here, you could see something really cool with our ash can, Graham, we're doing is the cover is going to be printed on red paper. I actually have it right here. Check this out. The printer's like, oh, I don't know if we could do this, because the white is actually white ink.
Okay.
On this. So we figured it out. It's black and white ink on red paper on this like cardstock kind of.
That's cool.
Classic ash can type stuff we're doing here. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. That's a really fun story I wrote about this vigilante character who's hunting down a serial killer in Chicago. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
So make sure you grab the ash can as well. It's going to be the first part in the 3 ash can series. And then here's that awesome Doug Mankey badass bookmark. If we could, let me see, where's that? There it is. Yeah, that everybody's going to be getting. So grab that. And we're just around the corner. Everything's ready to roll. And we should be fulfilling on time in March, which is a month away. So,
on time. That's the words I like to hear.
That's right. We always do it
Mm-hmm.
for the backers. Norn Rad in the chat says, damn, feel so close to 30. Then it'll be like fire tonight. I hope so.
Yeah. You are close.
Genuine Comics says, did I back the Lost Pages? I have to check. Check, brother. Check. I backed it already.
Back it again. Don't check. Just back it again.
Back it again.
Yeah.
I like the cut of your jib, Graham. I like that. There's some original art on there too. There's one more head sketch left, which let me show you this, Graham, before we get out of here. So the artist who did that cover for the people, he's doing some layout work for that story as well, and he's got some pages in the main book. His name's Dan Dahl. He's the one finishing the inks up on the last page, but he offered to do these kick-ass head sketches here, which are fully hand-colored. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Copic markers, and you guys get to choose one of our characters, and he'll do these kind of like backboard-sized headshots, all in the same kind of theme with just the bust. So there's one of those left, so that's up for grabs. But
nice. Hey, I just wanted to mention, I put commissions up for my artists and stuff on the Two-Fisted Manly Tale. So which guys sold out in a matter of a few days. But Michael Golden is up there. One of the most imitated artists, of this generation. So, for $900, you can get a Michael Golden commission.
Look at that. Oh, yeah. That'd be amazing. Yeah. So original art fiends out there.
Yeah.
Graham's got that for you too. And Graham's got one. You guys could get a commission from him as well.
Yep.
And also, if you guys missed out on the Compass Comics catalog of the Chenu and Alien Alamo, you could still grab them.
Right. The Ball Buster perk.
Perfect. Definitely get that. So you have the whole collection and a lot of good stuff to read. Let's see. I need more money so I can back all these sweet projects. That's right. Well, they'll be there. Definitely remember. All right. I think that's it, Graham, for the show today. I appreciate you being on here, man.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me on, Phil.
Yeah, and thanks everybody in the chat. It's been great. We've had a great chat here for the coming back and doing these promos. Probably the most people have had in a promo stream. Since this is the first one that we've done since we crossed 1,000 subs. We're really working to get those view hours up. So we just have probably like 300 more view hours. So if you guys are ever looking for something to listen to or watch, we have content on here, as well as we just started doing these kind of cool arcade crossed with comics videos, because I work for a really big arcade, Graham. And so I did a video on the X-Men video game from the 90s and crossed it with some X-Men comics talking about that. I just did this Judge Dredd one, which was a game that was never released. We have a prototype copy of the game at the arcade. So check those out, guys. Those are a lot of fun to make. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Remember, spread the word about giant size, two-fisted manly tales. Follow Graham everywhere he's at. Sub to his channel. And we will see you guys next time.
Let me just say, tomorrow night on the Storytellers, I have the great illustrator Mark Nelson on.
Oh,
and I will be on Malin's channel Wednesday.
Cool.
Tomorrow. Yeah. After the Storytellers, I'll be on Malin's channel. We'll be talking more
awesome
stuff.
You got any other streams tonight or the rest of the week? Or those just
Tuesdays is usually my night off.
Cool.
Wednesday I've got those two shows. Thursday's the Professionals. And then Friday is drinking day.
Awesome. All right, guys, you guys are the best in the chat.
Yes, thank you, everybody in the chat.
And always remember, before we cut out here, to like and subscribe. And don't forget, we care about you here. And the reason is...
Don't you forget, you're my #1 customer.
That's right.